All right, guys, I'm sorry to say this. I do not actually weight the right side of my bike, but now that the topic has been brought up, I will kind of give you guys an actual run through of what I do, how I throw these big whips on the Stark Varg. So the way a whip works is basically all from the rear wheel and how fast the rear wheel spins. The faster it spins, the lighter the bike feels in the air and the easier it is to whip. So obviously with the Stark, there's no transmission and it's electric. So combine the instant torque with basically the infinite rear wheel speed, you can toss these things unbelievably big. So in theory, having a weighted rear wheel would technically work and maybe possibly make it spin faster. I'm actually going to kind of experiment with that and see if there is actually a difference. But in theory, I was not lying about that. I also do have a fake shifter on this bike. No, I'm not actually shifting gears, but it does kind of help lock my foot underneath this peg right here and give me leverage over the bike to where I'm actually able to control the rear end of the bike, or like the rear half of the bike, with basically 1 foot. So it makes like turn down whips in specific, like if I'm taking an arm off or a leg off during a whip, I'm able to stay connected to the bike because of my fake shifter. I also get a lot of questions about my fake clutch, and yes, I do have a lot of like fake parts, as you can say, on this bike, but they all have a purpose. So this fake clutch, basically just a clutch lever off of my 450 that we took some bicycle inner tube right here, kind of looped it around, gave it a little bit of like a hydraulic clutch feel. It's there for one, to kind of keep my form on point, because I've spent most of my life riding like this. So I obviously don't want to go pick up a bad habit and ride full fisted like that. I'm coming back from like whips and stuff, or mainly just riding in general, I rest it like this, and when I'm brake tapping, I do pull it in. So when I go back to a combustion bike, it doesn't allow me to pick up any bad habits. That'd be a recipe for a big endo and install the bike. So now for the weight of this bike, I was not joking when I say this bike is heavier than a 450. This thing is about 20 pounds heavier than a combustion 450. It doesn't feel like it because of the speed that the rear wheel spins at in the air. This thing feels, you know, lighter than a 125, which is why all of us free riders and the best whip guys are all switching to the Vargs, because you can throw them around easier and, in my opinion, safer than a combustion bike, because on the combustion bike you're stuck in second, third gear. You'd have to bang a lot of gears to get it to react like this bike does in the air. Again, yes, I was joking about the weighted weights and the weighted boot and all that. That's all just a, I don't know, I was completely joking about it, but in theory some of it would work. So